Pour one out. All 48 ounces. 24 of those 48 ounces were poured out at the end of the regular season when the Lakers didn't even make the play-in tournament. And the rest of those 24, like you're kind of shaking the bottle to make sure every last drop has been poured out now that the Nets have been swept out of the playoffs without a single playoff victory this year. And they, you know, and you know what? I know there's people out there that are like, well, wait a minute, Rich, they won a play-in game. Play-in tournament game. Well, that's not a playoff game. Those stats go into some nether region. We don't know where they are. It's not a regular season game. It's not a playoff game. The play-in tournament. It's like the taint of the record book.
Wow.
Man, I did not see that.
I'm in a mood, folks. I'm in a mood.
Wow.
I'm in a mood.
I don't even have my tea.
I'm in a mood because
Let's go.
I'm in a mood. Because I get so disappointed when I see teams that should perform well not perform anywhere close to what they should do. And in this world where things get pushed to the top of your timeline and everything that you see in this world, people talk about negativity and disappointment first. I do want to just say this first. Chris, your Boston Celtics are freaking awesome to watch.
Thank you, my friend.
They are awesome to watch. You're watching a budding superstar in Jason Tatum.
It's not budding, Rich.
His incredible wattage, I think, overshadows how terrific Jaylen Brown is in his own right. Marcus Smart, what he has done in terms of, we know he's the defensive player of the year. He had 20 points and 11 assists last night. He is dynamite on the offensive end. And the rest of the group plays as a team. And last year it was like, what the hell is Brad Stevens do handing this off to Ime Udoka? What is going on here? Like, why would he leave the bench and hand this to a first-year head coach? Why would they do that? And what are they going to do? And what they've done is put together a hell of a team, and this is without Time Lord. He hasn't even shown up yet.
I love that nickname.
Great nickname.
And he's a Time Lord has arrived when he's healthy, and he's going to come back. And this team's going to get better. And they play defense, and they take you out of what you want to do. And the Nets are a perfect example of that. What the Nets want to do is play a two-man game with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Why not? They're two of the best players on planet Earth, especially since the rest of the team is kind of meh. They got Seth Curry. That was good because
Great shooter.
Harden got sent away and Curry's there, and Brown is
fine.
Right?
No, Joe Harris this year. Joe was hurt.
Of course.
One of the best shooters.
No,
in the league.
I understand that. And Ben Simmons didn't show.
Who?
Right. So I want to give the credit where it is due. The Celtics are a really good team, becoming a terrific team if they haven't already become one. And they are shooting up with a bullet, and they are peaking at the right time. And I hope for your sake, Chris, and everyone else who roots for the Celtics, that their time off watching the rest of the Eastern Conference playoffs get through, that they don't cool off a little bit here. But I trust what they're doing. It's terrific. And you and the rest of the Celtics fan base must already be crowning this team one of their favorite Celtics teams to watch in a long time. And there's been a lot to watch and enjoy.
I think you're right about that.
Like, boy, just watching this team come together, and, you don't expect this after they reshuffled everything. Not their roster, but their command and control structure. So, especially since first half of the season, you're wondering what the hell is going on with the team.
Disaster.
Now they're a team. They're a team to be reckoned with. And I believe they have a shot to win a championship this year. And I didn't think that through the first 2/3 of the season. Mm-hmm. I truly believe. I'm looking around, and how I feel about the Warriors and how I feel about their chances. And then you look around the rest of the Western Conference, I don't see a team that's better than the Celtics.
Unfortunately.
And I look at your team, and we'll hit them later on in the program. Because they're making things a little bit hot. But let's talk about the Nets now that I've at least paid the respect to the Celtics, because that's going to be lost amongst
so,
everything today because of how patently disappointing the Nets are, and pouring one out for all those who had Lakers and Nets in the finals. That's what I was pouring one out for. Because there will be a conversation about which team's more disappointing, the team that never made the playoffs, the team that made the playoffs and acted like they didn't make it and they didn't leave a mark there. If a tree falls in the playoff forest, does it make a noise if you're not there to actually be around to see
Rich,
it?
great poll question. Putting it up right now.
Oh, gosh.
More disappointing season.
There you go. Fine.
Rich, just before you move on to Celtics, to make it even more annoying for you and I and Del Tufo, is Brockman predicted that the Celtics were going to sweep this series.
You know what?
And it just makes me want to vomit.
And you know what? I don't in retrospect blame them, because you see the Nets as they are constructed.
They're a disaster.
And you see the Nets how they played and how they were coached.
Something
How
else.
are they coached? And I understand that you got to do a two-man game because of the way things are going, or you have to pick and roll a lot. You're going right into the jaws of the Celtics defense. They switch defensively like few others can.
Kind of like what the Heat did.
Oh, the Heat are terrific. I saw how Trae Young had 15 Miami Heat from everybody on the current roster all the way back to Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Anybody who ever played for the Heat switched on to Trae Young.
Glenn Rice.
Okay, Glenn Rice was there. Sure.
Sherman Douglas picked him up at half court.
Yeah, well done.
Ronnie Cycli.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.